Good morning, friends. Let me introduce myself. I am CG Lakshmi Prasad, Assistant Professor of English, working at Government Degree College, Atmakur, Vanaparthi District. Today, we're going to learn about synonyms. Actually, I wanted to include even antonyms, but synonyms itself, it has taken almost 16 to 17 slides. So, antonyms we will have next video. So, today we will learn about synonyms alone. What is a synonym? Synonym is a word or phrase that has exactly the same or nearly the same or similar meaning as another word or phrase in the same language. Similar it should be. M is missing, typing mistake. Synonym is a word or phrase that has exactly the same or nearly the same or similar meaning as another word or phrase in the same language. Okay, such words are called synonyms. So it need not be exactly the same, at least nearly the same or at least in a similar meaning. If they have, we can consider them as synonyms, but it should be in the same language. Okay, example, buy, purchase. Buy, the meaning is almost, meaning of both the words are almost the same. Buy, purchase, need, require, gift, present, understand, comprehend. See, all these pairs have almost same meaning. Almost there is no difference at all. And why are there so many synonyms in English? Okay, this we have to learn. This we have to find out. Okay, there are so many synonyms. There are so many. Why there should be two or three? Why there are two or three words for the same meaning? Okay, that because it has some historical impact on English. Because why there are so many synonyms in English means there are some reasons. At least two reasons are very important. First one is the sources of English vocabulary and history of uh, yeah, history of England. These two things, you know, made English have so many synonyms. Maybe not only English, many language, even Telugu also we have so many synonyms. We say in Telugu, what do we say? Uh, Nanarthalu, Nanarthalu, something like that. I don't remember exactly. So synonyms. See, there are synonyms even in Telugu. The reason is that once again, historical. Telugu has borrowed so many words from Sanskrit. Okay, not only Sanskrit, even from other languages also it has borrowed, and for that reason we have the original word as well as a borrowed word from other languages. That's why we have so many words in Telugu which have same meanings. So first, if we take why are there so many synonyms in English? The first reason is the sources of English vocabulary. That means English vocabulary has, English vocabulary is borrowed from several languages. Okay, a majority of English words come from two main sources, that is Germanic languages and Romance language, that is Latin based and Greek based. Okay, and the Greek based and Germanic languages. Actually, English is a Germanic language, but it has borrowed many words from Latin based languages. If we examine, there is some, study on this one. According to the study, 29% of English words are from Latin, and 29% of English words are from French. 26% of English words are Germanic origin. That means English is Germanic origin. So only 26% of English words are original, and the remaining words are borrowed from other languages. Okay, and the majority of the words come from Latin and French. 29% from Latin and 29% from French, and 6% from Greek, and 10% from other languages. Other languages include even Telugu, Hindi, Malayalam, Tamil, many languages, almost all languages from the world. It has borrowed words from almost all languages from the world, because England. The second reason will come to that one. The first reason is that English has borrowed words from many languages, many languages. So what happens when it borrowed many languages? Original native word and a new foreign word both remain in the use at the same time. So original English word is there. We have original English word, and people borrowed. And why people borrowed from other languages means, in olden days, okay, when English was not yet recognized as a official language, even in England. In England, English was not used as an official language. Official language was French or Greek or Latin. Educated people used to study Greek or Latin or French. Okay, English was a language of common people. Okay, literary language means Greek, Latin, and or French. That's the reason why, if we take old English literature, many words are borrowed from French, Latin, Greek. It was very difficult for the common English man to understand them. Only learned person can understand that literary text, because the words are not native, they are borrowed from other languages. And slowly, maybe in 16th century, from 16th century, 17th century onwards, English has become a official language. And English did not have even grammar. Even grammar of English is borrowed from Latin. Okay, English actually was a tribal language. It was used by Angles and Saxons. Okay, it was two languages combined together. It has become a language, and it has become very rich because of historical reasons. Okay, when many people, England was ruled by many people. That second reason will come to that one. But one thing is sure, English has borrowed words from many languages. That's the reason why the original English word is there, and also new foreign word both remain in the use at the same time. And here are some examples. For example, see, answer is Germanic word. Okay. Response is Latinate. That means Latin word. Ask, Germanic. Inquire, Latin. Begin, Germanic. Commence, Latin. See, both are same. Answer, response. Answer is Germanic word. Response is Latin word. Ask is Germanic word. Germanic word means original. Okay. And big is Germanic. Large is Latin. Help is Anglo-Saxons. This is original English. Angles and Saxons, I told you. Help. Aid is Old French. Okay. Weep is Anglo-Saxon. Cry is French. Forgive is Anglo-Saxon. Pardon is French word. Okay. Like that, many synonyms exist. The reason for many synonyms in English is because it borrowed from many languages, and original words remained in the language, and borrowed words also, they both existed together, and some people started using both of them. Okay, both the words, not only two words, there are many such words, three words, four words, five words for the same meaning, and all these words remained in use by the native speakers. That's the reason why there are so many synonyms. And why are there so many synonyms in English? The second reason is the history of England. If you take the history of England, French and Latin words entered the English language because Anglo-Saxons were invaded and ruled by the French and Anglo-Normans for a few hundred years. 100 years, not only 100 years, almost all 1,500 years. Okay, it was ruled by other countries, like, Romans. Okay, then Greeks, French. Okay, all these people ruled this world, and their official language was not English. Official language was Latin for some time, Greek for some time, and French for some time. Okay, so all these words, they became English words. Like, Hyderabad, many people speak Urdu. Many people still use Urdu as Telugu language. Okay. And we call Telangana dialect. Telangana dialect has many Urdu words. Why? Because Hyderabad was ruled by Nizam. Okay, Muslim ruler, and their language was Urdu. So Urdu has, we have borrowed. Telugu has borrowed so many words from Urdu. Even if you take official, words like, revenue department words, many words are Urdu words. Many words are Urdu words. Okay, particularly in Hyderabad. If you go to other parts of India, Many words are English words. Like that, this is history. You cannot rule away that word, rule away that part. So French and Latin words entered in English because England was ruled by French people, even Latin, what is it? Rome, okay, Rome, French, Greeks for many years. For that reason, these words entered into English. And Britain, then after that one, okay, then Britain became very strong country. Then after Britain has become very strong country, it has occupied almost all countries in the world. Okay, Britain colonized many parts of the world, and it adopted many words from the languages of those countries, and it has gone to every country in the world. Almost all countries are ruled by Britain. Okay, right from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, China, even America, all these countries were ruled by England. So when they have gone there, their people know speaking different languages and different things were they do not know. For example, I'll tell you, mango. The mango word is borrowed from Tamil. Tamil word is manga. Why? When they came to India, they have never seen mango. First time they have seen mango, and they might have asked the native people what is that. The Tamil fellow must have told manga, and he must have understood mango. That's why manga has become mango. And such words, okay, many words are borrowed from India. Many words are borrowed from Sri Lanka. Many words are borrowed from Bangladesh, China, like that. Many words are borrowed from many countries, even from Telugu also, like taboo. Taboo is a Telugu word. Tappu. Okay, it has come from tappu. Like that, many words are there, and we will have a different video on this topic. And English words such as, for example, Bangala, cot, dacoit, jungle, shampoo, all have a Hindi or Urdu origin. That is Indian words. Okay. These Indian words, many Indian words have become English words today. Although synonyms are words or phrases with the same meaning, and I told you, okay, they are almost all same, similar, okay, but surely there might be some slight shades of difference in meaning. Therefore, one word cannot be blindly substituted by another. Okay, if there are five synonyms, okay, for the same meaning, you cannot substitute, okay, from one word to another, because there might be very slight difference in meaning, shade of difference or weight in meaning. There might be some differences, so we cannot substitute them from with one word with another word. It's not possible. Also, each word has a slightly different weight. The weight means the strength of the word, the meaning strength, the meaning weight of the word may be different from one word to another word. Therefore, should be used as is appropriate to the context. So we have to see the context, and we have to use it appropriately. A heavy word, a light word will make it meaningless. So where we have to use heavy word, if we use some light meaning word, the strength of the sentence will be diluted. So we have to be very careful. Then synonyms. For example, a word like beautiful. Okay. Suppose beautiful has more than 20 synonyms. More than 20 synonyms for simple examples, but they cannot all be used as substitutes of each other. For example, beautiful, handsome, both are almost same. But beautiful is used for women and handsome is used for men. Pretty is used for girls, small children. Pretty girl we say, okay. And beautiful woman we say, beautiful girl. Sometimes it may be possible, but pretty girl is more appropriate. Beautiful woman is more appropriate, and handsome man is more appropriate. But we cannot say handsome woman. We cannot say beautiful man, beautiful person. We cannot say. But even though both beautiful and handsome have the similar meaning, same meaning, almost same meaning, but still we cannot substitute them. Beautiful is generally used for women, handsome for men, and good looking can be used for both. Both, okay, good looking woman, good looking man can be used for both. So, like that, no, neuter words maybe are also there. And pretty is a little less than beautiful and is often used for children and young girls. So, pretty is used generally for girls or small children, and it is not exactly beautiful. It is the weight of the word is little less than beautiful. And charming has more to do with manners than with looks. Even the charming also we use a charming person. Okay, charming is used. Charming is used, but it is nothing to do with the looks. I mean, beauty. Beauty is purely used only for the physical beauty, whereas charming is used for manners and intelligence. If the person is very intelligent, if the person has very good manners, then only we say charming person. Okay, not a beautiful. Beautiful, charming is nothing to do with the physical beauty. Then gorgeous, gorgeous we say. Gorgeous is used. Gorgeous means it is something hyperbolic to beautiful. Okay, rather hyperbolic term, and unless used in the right context becomes meaningless. So gorgeous is like a superlative degree for beautiful. Okay, it is hyperbolic. If you consider somebody extraordinary beautiful, then you use she is gorgeous. She is gorgeous. Okay, and you cannot use gorgeous everywhere. If you use gorgeous everywhere, then meaning of gorgeous becomes diluted, and nobody considers your views. So you have to be very careful while using such words. Then fill in the blanks with and some exercises are there here for you to understand. Okay, because there is no such grammar. Synonyms is not grammar, it's only vocabulary. So we can learn only through practicing, and only few exercises are given so that you can try to pick up the words. Here you see, fill in the blanks with the appropriate word. Here almost all, I told you, beautiful has more than 20 synonyms. In this exercise, almost all words are synonymous to beautiful. But as I told you, these words cannot be replaced with one another. Okay. See the first one. She looked dash in the fancy dress. Pretty, delightful. Pretty, delightful. So which one we can use? Delightful can we use? No. Pretty only has to be used. Pretty has something beautiful. Even beautiful can be used. She looked beautiful in the fancy dress. But here in the options, we have only two options, pretty or delightful. Pretty only can be used here. The china cups were brightly colored and dainty or bonny. Dainty means very beautiful but delicate. Beautiful is there, beautiful meaning is there, but at the same time, delicate. They're very delicate. If just if you drop them, it will be broken. So this dainty is can be used for cups which are very beautiful, but still they are very weak. If you drop them, they will break. So dainty can be used here. Disappointment was writ large on his dash face. Beautiful face, handsome face. Because it's a male. Disappointment was writ large on his, not her. If it is her, we can say beautiful face. Because it is his, we have to use handsome. Because handsome is for male, whereas beautiful is used for female. Right. The design on the hand woven shawl was dash exquisite, ravishing. Both are almost the same, but exquisite is used for for something very beautiful. Ravishing is not particularly for dress and other things. Exquisite is used. Then celebrations were followed by dash fireworks display. Dash fireworks display. Spectacular, delectable. Delectable is used mostly for uh, delicious food. We say delicious. Okay, for food we say delectable. Something for if some food is very tasty, then we say delectable. Okay, delicious we say. Spectacular means something that we can see. Here fireworks are there. Fireworks become very beautiful because we see with our eyes. So we have to use spectacular here. The sunrise at Kanyakumari is dash beguiling, gorgeous. Beguiling means it's something cheating. Okay. Actually, they are not beautiful, but they look beautiful. But sunrise at Kanyakumari is not beguiling, it is gorgeous. It's very beautiful. It's extraordinary beautiful because you have three sides to sea. Kanyakumari has three sides to sea. Three seas you can see. That is Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, and Indian Ocean. All three, one ocean and two seas. Okay, they join there. So you can see even sunrise and even sunset there. Usually, if you go to any seashore, you can either see sunrise or sunset. But in Kanyakumari, you can see both. You can see sunrise as well as sunset because three sides sea is there. Okay, water body is there. Then the peacock is a very showy bird with a dash plumage. Plumage means rekkalu. Okay, eagle. Okay, resplendent, comely. Resplendent means very colorful. Usually, the peacock's plumage is very colorful and very attractive. So, resplendent is used here. Resplendent, again, the meaning of resplendent is beautiful. Okay, but resplendent is more colorful, something like that. And each feather of the peacock is tipped with a dash eye spot, iridescent, alluring. Alluring means once again no cheating. Okay, but iridescent means some colors, when you view it from different angle, they change. In the same way, peacock's eye spot, it changes color when you just move from this and when you move the view of the peacock's eye, it changes color slightly. So we say iridescent eye spot. Then we have the handmade chocolates were dash. I told you chocolates eating. So something if it is something that is eatable, if it is beautiful, we say delectable. Dazzling means for eyes. Something it looks very attractive to the eyes, it is dazzling. Something it looks very attractive to your tongue, it is delectable. So here we are talking about chocolates, so it is delectable. Then the village by the sea offers dash shops and restaurants, alluring, admirable. Alluring means, they're very attractive. Maybe if you go there, you may not have a very quality material or quality sweets or quality thing, this one, but they look very attractive. You go to, fair means jatara. If you go there with lot of lights, okay, it looks very attractive and you want to eat them. But actually, they may not be very good. They may not taste very good. But for looking, it's very good. So this is alluring we use. Benares presents dash maze of narrow streets, statuesque and picturesque. Statuesque is used generally for women who are very tall, attractive, large. Okay, such women are described with statuesque statuesque women. Okay, whereas picturesque is used for objects, a picturesque view, picturesque mountain, picturesque village. Okay, so picturesque means it is used for objects, villages, places, whereas for women, statuesque is used. Okay, so here it is, we're talking about Benares. It's a, city, narrow streets. We're talking about narrow streets. So here we have to use picturesque maze of narrow streets. Narrow streets. Then we have another set of exercises. Here what we have to do, from the words given in the box, choose the most appropriate synonyms for the words in italics. Here some words are in Greek. Okay, Greek color. Green color is there and even italics they are in. And we have to find a suitable synonym for this one. Okay, let us see the first one. Dog is faithful animal. Dog is faithful animal. So what is a synonym for faithful? Here from this list we have to pick up. So from this list, the synonym is loyal. Faithful means loyal. So loyal is synonymous to faithful. The man was old and looked frail. Okay, what is a synonym for frail? Weak. Frail means weak. Okay, frailty, thy name is woman, Shakespeare says. Okay, but now it is not so. Even women are very strong. Okay. Being courteous costs you nothing. Being courteous is not cost you nothing. So what is the synonymous for courteous? Courteous means polite. Courteous means polite. So polite is a synonymous to courteous. The huge mansion looked empty. Empty means what? Vacant. Here we have vacant. Where is vacant here? Yeah, first one. This is vacant. So vacant is synonymous to empty. Then the police ensured that street was safe. Safe means secure. Safe means secure. He was dashed by loud music. Bothered, sorry. He was bothered by loud music. So what is the synonymous for bothered? Annoyed. Annoyed is there here. The juggler's tricks were confusing, baffling. Okay, baffling means it's confusing. Jugglers do so many tricks, and we enjoy them, but we don't know how he does it. It is baffling experience for us. The city was hit by a terrible storm, terrible, awful, awful storm. A huge crowd had gathered on a momentous occasion, historic occasion. This is not an exhaustive list of synonyms. Exhaustive is complete. This is not complete. There are lakhs of synonyms which you have to learn by reading, writing, and all those things. And there is no exhaustive list of synonymous. Thousands of words may be available there. If you go, there is a thesaurus. A dictionary is called thesaurus. Thesaurus means a dictionary of synonyms and antonyms. Dictionary of synonyms and antonyms is called thesaurus. You can find, okay, you have Oxford thesaurus, Cambridge thesaurus. Very interesting. Okay, you can get many, synonyms, antonyms. They're very useful while you're writing. Okay, you can use better word. You can use better word. Then one more set of exercises. In each of the following sentences, identify two words that have a similar meaning. Here one sentence is given, but two words are similar in meaning. That means synonymous. Synonyms. We have to find them. See example. The unhappy ending of the story made us all sad. So unhappy and sad, both are synonyms. Unhappy and sad. In the same way, we have to find such synonyms in these sentences. First one. If I do my normal work, I will get my regular salary. Normal, regular. Almost, not exactly same, but almost same. Almost same. You throw the ball to the dog and it will toss it back to you. Throwing, tossing. Both are one and the same. I mean, throwing and tossing. Not same, exactly same, but they are similar. You will find your way if you stay on the right path. They are almost same. Way, path. Way, path. The stuntman leaped into the air and jumped over the fire. So leap means jumping. Leaping frogs we say. Jump. Jump is also same. Almost same. Almost same. If you listen carefully, you can hear the bird song. Listen here. Listen here. Then continuation. The gloomy day was marked by dark clouds. Gloomy, dark. His hourly wages are much higher than my monthly salary. Wages, salary, almost same, but there are slight differences. Salary is used for, a monthly. Salary is taken monthly, whereas wages are taken sometimes daily, sometimes weekly, sometimes monthly. Okay, and wages are given to the labor. Okay, hard working people, whereas salary is going to white collar jobs. Okay, they work in the offices like teachers, lecturers, and offices. They get salary. But if you are working in a factory, you get wages. There's slight differences is there, but it's almost the same. Okay, the money given for your work is called wages or salaries, but slight different. That's why you cannot actually substitute with one another. This is hourly wages. This is monthly salary. See here, his hourly wages are much higher than my monthly salary. The car's engine was noisy and the horn was loud. Noisy and loud. Both are almost same. The gang of robbers disappeared into the crowd. Gang means group of people. Crowd means group of people. But of course, there is slight differences are there. But they are synonymous. Tread cautiously. Tread means walk. Cautiously when you walk in the garden. When you walk in the so tread and walk are almost same. There are synonymous. Then I have collected some very interesting synonymous list of synonymous synonyms so that you can at least know how there may be so many synonyms. Okay, so for some important only some 14 to 15 words I have collected, and you can collect them from Google or thesaurus is there. You can get many such synonymous. Amazing. It's amazing. So, synonyms for amazing: incredible, unbelievable, unbelievable, improbable, fabulous, wonderful, fantastic, astonishing, astounding, extraordinary. All these are synonymous to amazing. Awful, dreadful, terrible, abominable, bad, poor, unpleasant. Just now we talked about awful. What is it? Climate. We were talking about awful climate or something like that in the previous slide. Bad. See, bad. We simply say you are bad or something. But there are so many words for bad. See how many? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8 lines, and each line has at least 6 to 7 words. See, evil. Okay, immoral, wicked, corrupt, sinful, depraved, rotten, contaminated, spoiled, tainted, harmful, injurious, unfavorable, defective, inferior, imperfect, substandard, faulty, improper, inappropriate, unsuitable, disagreeable, unpleasant, cross, nasty, unfriendly, irascible, horrible, atrocious, outrageous, scandalous, infamous, wrong, noxious, sinister, putrid, snide, deplorable, dismal, grass, heinous, nefarious, base, obnoxious, detestable, despicable, contemptible, foul, rank, ghastly, execrable. But so many words are there for bad. But you cannot use wherever you can use bad. Okay, there are different shades of meanings are there. The weight of the word differs from one word to another word, and even context. You have to use in some context you have to use only that word. Okay, in other context you cannot use. Okay, like that. There are so many synonyms are there for bad. Beautiful. Okay, beautiful. Already we have done a complete one exercise. Let us see how many synonyms are there. Pretty, lovely, handsome, attractive, gorgeous, dazzling, splendid, magnificent, comely, fair, ravishing, graceful, elegant, fine, exquisite, aesthetic, pleasing, shapely, delicate, stunning, glorious, heavenly, resplendent, radiant, glowing, blooming, sparkling. More than 20. More than 20. Almost 25 words are there. 25 to 26, 30 words are there, I think. Okay. Like that, there are so many synonyms. It's very, interesting. And you have to learn to use them in your own sentences, each one. Then only you can learn. Let's go to the next set of words. Okay. Brave. Brave again is a very common word we use. And there are so many synonyms. For example, courageous, fearless, dauntless, intrepid, plucky, daring, heroic, valorous, audacious, bold, gallant, valiant, doughty, mettlesome. All words synonymous to brave. Dangerous, perilous, hazardous, risky, uncertain, unsafe. These are synonymous to dangerous. There may be so many words as well. These are the words I have collected from net. There may be so many words. If you take thesaurus, you will find number of words for each word. Delicious. Delicious is used for, food. Delicious food. Savory, delectable. Already we have used this word. Appetizing, luscious, scrumptious, palatable, delightful, enjoyable, toothsome, exquisite. So all these words are used for food usually. Enjoy, appreciate, delight in, be pleased, indulge in, luxuriate in, bask in, relish, devour, savor, like. These words are synonymous to enjoy. Then famous. Famous means well known, renowned, celebrated, famed, eminent, illustrious, distinguished, noted, notorious. Sometimes notorious is, antonym to famous. Sometimes, in one angle it is antonym, in one angle it is a synonym. How? Famous means known to so many people, well known. For example, we say Chiranjeevi is a very famous actor. Modi is a very famous politician. That means he is known to many people. He is known to almost all, everybody in India and many people in the world. Modi. But what is notorious? Notorious person is also known to many people, but the means of known knowledge is through his bad things. Suppose we say uh, Virappan. Okay, Virappan is a notorious criminal. He is known to everybody. Virappan is known to everybody. But Modi is also known to everybody. But are they same? Modi is known to everybody through his good deeds, whereas Virappan is known to everybody through his bad deeds. That is the difference. So one way, suppose if we take meaning as well known, famous and notorious are synonymous. But the means of becoming famous, if we take, they are antonyms. They are antonyms. So notorious and famous sometimes synonyms, sometimes antonyms. Then good. See, for good, how many words are there? Oh, almost some 50, 60, 70 words are there. There may be many more. There may be many more. Okay, for example, what is the synonyms for good? Let us see. Excellent, fine, superior, wonderful, marvelous, qualified, suited, suitable, apt, proper, capable, generous, kindly, friendly, gracious, obliging, pleasant, agreeable, pleasurable, satisfactory, well behaved, obedient, honorable, reliable, righteous, sorry, reliable, after reliable, miss the line, trustworthy, safe, favorable, profitable, advantageous, righteous, expedient, helpful, valid, genuine, ample, salubrious, estimable, beneficial, splendid, great, noble, worthy, first rate, top notch, grand, sterling, superb, respectable, edify. So many, I told you, but you cannot, for example, if I say Rama is a good man, we cannot say Rama is a superior man. Maybe it differs. When you say good man and superior man, totally differs. Okay, there is slight difference. Okay, we are not talking about a superiority, we are talking about goodness. We cannot say wonderful man. Wonderful, of course, they are synonymous, but the meanings are slightly different. In the same way, even for a dangerous, brave, and so many words, it has to change. Okay, and so some more list is there here. Happy, happy. I'm very happy. We say, but there are so many words for happiness. Pleased, I'm very pleased to meet you. We say, I'm pleased to meet you. I'm very happy to meet you. Contented, contented means feeling of happiness. Okay, it's good, it's enough. Okay, you are contented with what you have. Be contented with what you have, we say. That is, be happy with what you have. Contented, satisfaction, satisfaction, satisfied, delighted, elated, joyful, cheerful, ecstatic, jubilant, gay, tickled, gratified, glad, blissful, overjoyed. Okay, like that. There are so many words which are synonymous, but again, remember, they are not interchangeable according to from circumstances. You have to use different words. You have to use different words. And some words meaning change from time to time. For example, gay. Okay, in earlier days, some maybe some 50 years back, the meaning of gay is very happy and very joyful. But if you say I am a gay, that meaning it totally is different. Totally is different now. It has got different shades of meaning. So even the meanings of the words change from time to time, time to time, and even place to place. Even from place to place also meanings change. Okay, maybe one word in America, the meaning of one word in America may be different. In the same word may differ in India or in England or in Australia. They differ from time to time and even from place to place. So you have to be very careful. Okay, some 100 years, some 50 years back, if you say, I'm really, I'm a gay. If you say I'm a gay, that means I'm very happy and contented person. If you say the same word, if you say the same word, if you say I'm a gay, it is totally, they look at you differently. Okay. Now the meaning of gay has changed totally. And one more word, interesting, fascinating, engaging, sharp, keen, bright, intelligent, animated, spirited, attractive, inviting, intriguing, provocative, though uh, provoking, challenging, inspiring, involving, moving, titillating, tantalizing, excited, entertaining, piquant, lively, racy, spicy, engrossing, absorbing, consuming, gripping, arresting, enthralling, spellbinding, curious, captivating, enchanting, bewitching, appealing. Like there's so many. For example, arresting. Okay, arresting means police are arresting that the meaning is different. And the film is arresting. Her beauty, beauty of heroine is arresting. That means very interesting, very catching meaning. Okay. So different shades of meaning at different context. Old, feeble, frail, ancient, weak, aged, used, own, dilapidated, ragged, faded, broken, broken down, farmer, old fashioned, outmoded, pass, veteran, mature, venerable, primitive, traditional, archaic, conventional, customary, stale, musty, obsolete, extinct. In the same way, we have another word, unhappy, miserable, uncomfortable, wretched, heartbroken, unfortunate, poor, downhearted, sorrowful, depressed, dejected, melancholy, glum, gloomy, dismal, discouraged, sad. These are synonymous to unhappy. Students, it's a very good thing if you can collect such words, synonyms, and make a list of it, and you can even submit as an assignment or project work. You can learn so many words. You can learn vocabulary. You can learn vocabulary. At least you should have at least some 2,000 to 4,000 vocabulary, active vocabulary. Then you can speak English very fluently. And one way of learning vocabulary is through synonyms and antonyms, and even homophones, homographs, homonyms, homophones, homographs, synonyms, antonyms. Through these things, you can actually improve your vocabulary. That's why I recommend all the students to learn and be no collect synonyms and antonyms, and even homophones, homographs, and improve your vocabulary. Thank you very much.